Winston Payne. There we go. That's
that's it. Yeah. I kind of forgot he was gonna show up.
Now then, this court is now back in session. Mr. Luke met me. Please take the stand.
I guess this was sir.
Well, well. How do you do, Sir Lawyer? I never would have thought to see you acting so recklessly.
I couldn't let them hand down your verdict just yet. Not when they would have given you your alibi. An alibi by the name of Master Mask.
I'm sorry, I'm afraid even the great Look at Me has no idea what you just look at me. Of course I have been in the next courtroom ever since 10 o'clock this morning.
Okay.
I'm afraid there's no way I could know what's been going on in here.
You've been in the defendant's seat all day long, correct? Being tried as Mask to Mask.
Indeed, it's truly child's play to fool the ignorant masses. Not only did the poor fools ask me to protect their valuables, they even gave me a generous reward upon returning their own property to them. Take this red diamond ring that sparkles upon my divine finger, for example.
Diamond?
It's red diamond.
Diamond?
So you continue to insist that you are in fact Master Mask.
Of course.
Very well then, look at me. Let us begin with this simple question. On October 12th at 1 a.m., Kane Bullard was murdered. Where were you at that time?
One without knowledge likes even the knowledge that he should himself be ashamed of himself. But don't worry, I will not hold it against you, Sir Judge.
Thanks?
All right, Mr. Admi. The night of the murder. Speak.
Just look at me.
We're all ears.
And eyes.
As you wish. Sir Prosecutor?
Tulip, I just have to say though that the way you roll your R's is very, very lovely. It works out real well with him.
Thank you.
I was stealing the urn as Mask de Mask, just as I announced that I would. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. A photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turned out being my witness. The time at which the camera captured Mask to Mask was the same time as the murder.
So you murdered that man? It seems the main point of discussion will be this photo of the crime scene.
Everything else until now was all part of his plan. There has to be a secret to this as well.
Even the great Mask to Mask cannot be in two places at once. Now then, if you'll excuse me, I have a verdict to receive.
Unfortunately, Mr. Adney, we still have to do your cross-examination.
A fool is too foolish to know that he is a fool.
Are you really? Are you related to Von Karma?
I may have had a few dalliances. I may have had a dalliance with a Mrs. Von Karma in my time.
Oh no! Oh no!
I think he's trying to say that you're full of it, Nick.
And I am a villain.
Look
He
at
did say
me,
Mrs. Maybe it's the mom.
The only thing that's full of it is his alibi.
Another one of those press every fucking sentence ones.
Oh, God.
Don't worry, I've got this. So this photograph is the proof, correct?
Indeed it is.
Oh shit.
And the man in the photo is certainly wearing a mask.
That is why I am called Mask to Mask. You really don't seem to get this.
I know, I sure don't.
But conveniently, that also means there is no way to tell who this really is.
Oh, what do you mean?
Objection.
Okay,
Are you saying
Candor.
that this is not in fact, look at me? That it could only be an accomplice dressed up as Mask the Mask to create an alibi?
Oh, what an interesting idea! Are you saying that I, Lone Wolf Luke, had an accomplice?
Who calls you that?
I
Who
do.
at me was a KB security.
I do.
And the mask to mask in this picture has to be a fake.
Then there really was an accomplice.
But right now, I have no idea who it was.
I don't have any idea right now either.
Baseless objections are just what this guy wants. There's got to be another way, and I'm gonna find it.
Hold it.
I believe Adrian Andrews hired you at one point.
That's right. That was over 20 days ago, if I'm not mistaken.
You sent the calling card to Lordy Taylor 10 days before the heist. That would mean you sent out the card after you began your security watch, right?
Indeed. There was no reason why I couldn't do both jobs at once. It was the perfect opportunity to steal my latest target.
Money? I see. You truly are evil, aren't you?
Yeah.
You cast an evil man.
Let's see. What is evil, really?
What is evil?
Every
Hey Nick, isn't there something odd about this?
What?
Detective Atmate was always proud of his ace detective skills, right? But if he But if the urn was stolen from Lord Lee Taylor's while he was the only one watching it, he'd have no way to maintain his perfect ace detective persona.
That's true. It is kind of odd. So by photograph, you mean this photograph?
Indeed. That is it. The very thing that proves I committed the crime.
The very thing that proves you committed the crime. What if I turned it over and it was a receipt? You say that almost as if you had this picture taken on purpose.
He was simply caught by the very camera that he had set up. We all have days like
That's the only thing that he said that has been relatable.
Indeed. It turned out that there's no such thing as a perfect crime after all.
Have you seen Double Jeopardy?
Life is truly an ironic thing. A sad blue melody.
It looks like I'd better gather more information for now. If he's truly the killer, there's got to be something phony in that photo. About the camera that took this photograph.
Oh, come now. It's all too clear what you are thinking.
What?
You think I altered the timestamp on the photograph, don't you?
Can you do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very easily. It takes very little effort.
I'm afraid that's impossible. The camera was set up by Lord Lee Taylor, and on top of that, it was Lord Lee Taylor's staff that printed that picture's data. Unfortunately for the defense, there's no way that picture could have been altered.
I see.
It looks like I'd better find something else that could be suspicious.
The buy is false?
It has to be, or he couldn't have killed Mr. Bullard at KB Security.
But aren't we spotting anything unusual?
There's two possibilities. Either mask to mask in the photo is fake, or the photo is.
You have to press every statement, loop around, and repress this third one. This is my
Yep.
least favorite part about the case. It is so dumb.
Yep,
It
that's what I
pisses
got
me
stuck
off.
at.
I'm literally like,
Yes.
I'm literally just gonna skip it.
Oh,
We've already said this line.
We have? No.
Yep.
Yeah, we've already talked about this. We literally repressing a statement.
Okay, yeah.
Like I literally repress statement 3. So once I get to the I, because you have to like press it and then press it. I remember when I played this on the DS, I had to do this and save scummed all the fucking time. But yeah.
I just love that term, save scum.
It's a term, man.
Alright, so let us know when we're back in action.
This is new. Yeah, we'll start here.
Oh, damn it.
The basement warehouse, and this picture that supposedly captures it. It's got to be here. Isn't there something funny about this picture?
You bet your sweet potato there is.
You bet your sweet pippy.
You bet.
Have that as a sound file.
I don't know why.
There it is. I just didn't feel like searching for it.
Oh my god, really?
You bet your sweet bippy I did.
Go, Tyler line.
Really wholesome Caucasian expressions always make me laugh. Like, you bet your sweet bippy.
I fucking love Ed, Ed and Eddie. That shit was a gold mine.
Are you implying that this photograph is a fake?
You bet I am. There's definitely something strange about this picture.
Oh. Oh. How do I?
We took a look around the basement warehouse that night before the theft took place.
Oh my god.
And there's something in this photo that doesn't match my memory of that night.
Still no pickles. Very well. Then let's hear what you have to say. But what about this photograph seems off? It says missing mask. No. Oh, damn.
The funny part is right here.
Huh? This is a blood stain?
Oh, blood?
Oh, blood. Now this case is getting interesting.
Not exactly. The stain is actually pink paint.
Oh, just paint? Peach colored at that? Oh, never mind.
What is wrong with him? The problem with this photograph is not the paint. The problem is when you consider the layout of the basement warehouse. It turns out that something that should be there is nowhere to be seen.
Well, Mr. Wright, what is supposed to be in this picture instead of paint stains? Huh?
The supervisor of the treasure exhibit stated the following. As you can tell by my flashback.
Can I stop butchering your flashback now? God damn it.
No,
My backstory can't hold for long. Make it quick.
You have
Fine.
Cyclops eyes.
It's a rather long flashback. Could you
I
explain
myself was there the night the theft took place and saw the statue in that spot. If this picture was truly taken on that night, then the statue should have been there.
Hold on now. But when I went there, the day after the theft, the statue of the old bag was still sitting in the corner.
Perhaps it was somehow pushed there accidentally?
Your Honor, this statue is slightly larger than yourself and quite heavy.
that? Not as heavy as you.
It will take more than an accidental push to move in that distance.
I'm heavy?
In that case, can you prove it? Can you give us the rhythm and reason as to why the statue was moved that night?
Rhythm, it's rhyme.
Fuck!
It's okay.
His metaphors are terrible. It's perfect for him.
It's okay. Can you do it, Nick?
Never mind who moved it. The real question is, why?
Well, Mr. Wright, I hope you are prepared with your answer. Now then, who was the one that moved the golden statue on the night of the crime?
Off we go.
Wow.
The one who moved the statue is none other than Luke Abbey.
I will never get over that.
Come now, Sir Lawyer. There you go again on one of your strange delusions.
Mr. Wright, what bias do you have for this strange delusion?
It's just
It's very simple. The witness was the only one in the basement warehouse that night.
That is indeed very simple to answer. However, why would I want to move a heavy golden statue?
Because you tried to steal it.
Shut up!
The reason for moving the golden statue. Here's where our battle really begins.
Well, Mr. Wright, what reason did the witness have to move the statue?
The reason can be found, again, in his photograph.
Wow, we're looking at this same photo a lot.
it's literally
Look at me. You pretended to be Master Mask.
Real talk, Adams. Wait till we get video footage. It's way fucking worse.
Oh
my
god,
goodness.
is that a thing in the later games?
To create an alibi by showing you were at Lord Taylor that night.
It's case 1-5.
Tristemente.
Oh
1-5 has the worst fucking video footage ever.
god, alright.
But this photograph contains a single, fatal flaw. If the statue had been there, your lie would be exposed like cheap film at a drugstore. This is why you have to move the statue.
A single fatal flaw?
Interesting theory. Please enlighten us. Just where in this picture does this lie exist?
Take that.
Naturally, the lie in this is a timestamp.
What do you mean?
I'll tell you exactly what I mean. On the night in question, Luke Abbey went to KB Security and murdered Kane Bullard.
Prove it.
Therefore, it's obvious. It would have been impossible for him to have been at Lord Taylor this time.
But what does this have to do with the statue being moved?
Remember, if you will, Your Honor,
But I won't.
when was the statue placed besides the warehouse door?
Well,
The statue was taken down to the warehouse on the day of the crime, and it was placed there in order to cover up the pain.
Exactly. Luke Abbey had already decided on the time when he was going to kill the victim. And so, in order to create an alibi for that time, he took this picture days before the murder took place.
Oh, what the?
Of course, the statue hadn't yet been brought down to the basement warehouse yet.
I see.
So, on the day of the crime, Mr. Abbey must have been quite nervous. As nervous as a long-tailed cat in a rocking chair factory, so to speak.
What the fuck does that mean?
Fuck if I know.
If a cat has a long tail, and it goes next to a rocking chair, and you rock onto the tail, it screams in pain.
If only it's in the factory, though. No other place.
No. It's just, there's a lot of
Anyways.
things for that. Anyways. Wow. Why? Because something like that wasn't supposed to be there. Had been brought down in a place where it wasn't supposed to be. And that is why Luke Abbey had to move the statue on the night of the murder. He did it to make the room match with the way it had been in his photo.
Damn.
Oh,
Order! Mr. Atme, is this true?
One moment, Your Honor. Have you forgotten this?
And what is this?
The data for the basement warehouse computer. According to this, the camera did indeed go off on the night of the crime.
It's true that the camera had been set up by the Lord Dictator staff. However, the program used to manage that data was yours. That alone would have allowed you to teleport the data.
Got him. Order! Mr. Godo, what is the meaning of this?
Why are you asking me?
Godo, I warned you about making me wait. Now put that damn coffee down.
My 11th cup.
Oh, he's got
God, this tune.
Promise to drink
I love
more.
this tune so much.
Promise to drink
I love it,
more.
but I hate it because it's him and his damn coffee.
Which means I'm still good till the last drop.
Well, drink it already. However, the defense has a very good point.
A good point. So what?
So he's winning!
We are all but travelers on a road of infinite points.
God damn, I fucking hate it.
I love him though. I can't help it. He's awesome. Anyways, I think he got his points mixed up with other points.
So you say this photograph was taken ahead of time? And that the statue was moved in order to make it matched? That's a very interesting idea. However, there's one point that can't be denied.
Where did that coffee go that was in his hand just now?
Which is?
There it is.
Of course.
There is only possibility. Men that are trapped by the chains of Mavie
That's some black.
can never reach their dreams.
This man drinking oil, not even coffee. It was very true.
Your Honor, please, don't do that.
Hey, Mr. Damask,
Yeah, me?
if there's no funny business in your actions as Mask the Mask, there should be no problem with you telling us your strategy. So let's hear it. Handale.
Yes, please provide this court with your testimony about your plan to steal the sacred urn. Rapido, rapido.
Rapido.
That's the only Mexican you'll get out of me. Spanish, damn it.
I can't believe you said that.
I'm not racist, I swear, I'm sorry.
I still get it.
Anyways,
I first received the request from Lordly Taylor about 20 days ago. The urn was placed in a box and zwei! It was then sent to the warehouse. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand. I then handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. At last, I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 a.m. on October 12th.
It's free real estate.
that's pretty much all the stuff we've heard before, isn't it?
Yeah, but we will find the truth hidden in the nuggets of information he gave. By the way, let's stop at McDonald's on the way back.
Witness, you're sure that there are no mistakes this time, right?
Oh, sorry.
Witness?
Bye.
Very well then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination again.
Okay.
I'm gonna give me some Kool-Aid, I'll be back.
Please tell me this is not another press everyone. Thank you.
It's not.
Thank God.
Yeah, we had a bunch of them.
I think those are the worst.
Yeah, I know. But when you're playing the game, you automatically just press every statement off rip. Especially if you don't know the case. You just press every statement anyway. So then if you get the answer out of it, then it's actually better. Like, coming from scratch at least.
Yeah.
Mr. Atme, if you really are Master Mask, then you also wrote this calling card, correct?
But of course.
Is there a problem with that calling card?
Allow me to read a passage from the calling card that Master Mask has written. Take good care of the speckled urn. Now the speckled here surely refers to this pink pattern on the sacred urn.
Adams, only drink when
God
drinks,
damn,
alright? Adams, only drink when Godot drinks.
Oh my god. Anthony, how do you do that Greg voice? You do it really good.
You got like a microphone in your esophagus or something. God damn.
Anyways.
I'm back, yeah.
You gotta drink when Godot drinks, homie. Drink when Godot drinks, so it sounds a little more natural, alright? Like, goddamn.
He had a fever.
Anyways.
We heard you gulp, Adams.
Yes, that is true, but so what?
That was too good.
Oh.
Good line, Adams.
Truth be told, there is no way that Master Mask could have known about this pattern.
Oh my god. What do you mean?
This pink spotted pattern on the urn is actually nothing more than paint stains.
Paint stains?
And these stains do not appear until after the urn had been taken to Lordy Taylor.
I'm not finding this joke to be very funny, Mr. Wright.
The day that the sacred urn was taken to the warehouse, the urn was broken due to human error, or should I say an error-prone human.
Oh, you don't have to do her like that.
And that's when the pink paint got on the urn.
You can't be serious.
And yet, this calling card clearly mentions the paint pattern. Which means Detective Atme had seen this urn long before the crime ever took place. In fact, he saw it when this fake photo was taken.
Bless you.
And because this photo is a fake, your alibi for the night of the murder no longer holds water.
Silence! Witness, do you have anything to say for yourself?
Alright, that did it. He's broken.
Finally!
I think it's still a little early for a victory pose.
What makes you say that?
Thank you, Bailiff. Ha! It's so sad. No one had any conviction these days.
Conviction, you say? By what do you mean?
Yesterday, we all decided unanimously that this man was Mask the Mask. And now we're calling him a murderer.
To be fair, so did you.
You don't think we're being a tad fickle?
That is a good point, though.
Wait, Your Honor, please.
You say that Luke Atme was the one who killed Kane Buller. Then let me ask you this. Why would he do that? What's the motive?
An excellent point. Motive, Mr. Wright, motive! Might you, my merry murderous motive manifest?
Nick! He's getting the second wind!
If he prepared an alibi and pinned his crime on Ron Delight, as you say, he must have had a very strong motive for murder.
The only one with any motive we've seen is Ron Delight. Isn't that right, detective?
Indeed. According to my own research, the boy's motive is quite clear.
Without a motive, it's nearly impossible to prove guilt in a murder case. Now then, maybe you can enlighten us as to what the defendant's motives really were.
I'd be honored to, Sir Oldtimer.
They're doing everything they can to make Ron look suspicious.
That's what we do.
Despite our lack of hard evidence and information, this may be our only chance.
Look at me, had no points of contact with the victim whatsoever. Kane Bullard decided to investigate mask to mask and simply mistook who he was. It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to a Ron Delight. And it was again Mr. Bullard who harbored a grudge against Mr. Delight for his betrayal. Mr. Bullard's mistake is quite excusable. The defendant truly believes he's masked the mask. I mean, have you looked at him? He's fucking insane. That's why Mr. Delight saw it fit to kill Kane Bullard. It's truly a tragedy. Left his tongue hanging out and everything. It's gross.
So the victim killed Kane Bullard, blackmailed the defendant?
This is the blackmail letter found in the document apartment. Handwriting test confirms that Mr. Bullard was indeed the one who wrote the letter.
What?
Nani?
Very well then, Mr. Wright. Begin your cross-examination for the 18th time.
You only have... Oh, this is the second to last one. You're okay.
Your Honor, this is the 16th time. I know that for a fact.
I heard a cat.
I heard a cat.
Anyways, I need to ask you something.
Well, if it's just a few questions, it could be alright.
When you said that this letter was addressed to Ron Delight, I couldn't help but notice one major contradiction.
That being?
I don't know where a walking contradiction like you gets off saying things like that.
Damn, get him. Kill him.
You don't want to talk.
At times like these, men are made to express themselves with their fists.
And not their coffee.
Why don't you show us what you got there, Junior?
Isn't Godot, like, younger than Phoenix?
No,
No,
not at all.
I have white hair, for the love of God.
Bottles exist.
Indeed. Time the man up, Mr. Wright. Show us the contradicting evidence of the content of the blackmail letter.
Take a good look at this newspaper clipping.
The comic strip?
Oh, I love Garfield.
More importantly, take a look at this photograph within the newspaper clipping.
Okay, what about it?
The problem is the jewel's color in this photo.
Color? I'm not much discussing color myself.
According to the clipping, the color of the stolen jewel was blue. However, in the blackmail letter, a totally different jewel was mentioned. I'll take that red diamond you received the other day.
Blood diamonds?
Which means, the red diamond described in the blackmail letter is not the Tirvemenon that Master Mask stole at all.
And your point is, Mr. Wright? So you're trying to say that this blackmail letter was intended for someone else? That is what you're saying, right, Mr. Wright?
That is what you're trying to say, right, Mr. Trite?
Well, that is what you're trying to say, right, Nick? How many times can I say
Yes,
that?
that is what I'm trying to say, me. This is who Kane Bullard was actually blackmailing. Amazing.
Wow.
Naturally, it was you, Detective Atme.
Do you have some sort of basis for this wild claim of yours?
Basis.
You have been personally involved in every single Master Mask case. And in the last case, you recovered what was stolen and received a jewel as your reward.
A jewel? No.
Probably the one wrapped conspicuously around your finger. That red diamond ring.
That's not a class ring?
That is the diamond referred to in the letter. Which means that Kane Bullard wrote that letter in order to blackmail you.
Order, Nicker. Order, I'd say.
It seems you've gone too far with your childish pranks, Mr. Wright.
Why is it saying it like that?
Kane Bullard blackmailing look at me? Please! Are you for real?
Yes.
Nick, come on, stand up for yourself.
Put up the dukes.
Then answer me this. The blackmail letter containing the following passage. If you don't want your identity revealed to the world...
Yes, it certainly does say that.
Kane Bullard threatened to make Look At Me's identity public knowledge. An identity he wanted to keep a secret. So just what was that identity?
Psychopath, sociopath?
Atme killed Kane Bullard because he was afraid of a secret because... What was the identity he wanted to keep secret?
That's what it all come down to, Nick.
The identity that Luke Atme wanted to keep so desperately secret was his identity as...
A serial killer.
Luke Atme is just a blackmailer.
Hey now, isn't that a little
Rockstar.
different from what you've been saying? You said that Kane Bullard was the one blackmailing Look At Me. Are you saying that Atme was blackmailing someone else on top of that?
You'd have to admit, that does sound a little odd.
It's not odd. It's the only thing that makes any sense. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atme. But Ron the Light was also being blackmailed by a certain someone.
Hmm?
Watch this flashback.
Oh, it's all making sense now. Detailed plans? In which case, that would mean that Ron DeLight was actually the master all along?
That is what we are claiming. Someone else came up with the plans and had Mr. Delight steal his targets for him. And that someone was none other than Luke Atme.
Huh?
Shh! Silence!
But that's my line.
Now I see. It's all becoming clear.
What?
Oh, what?
When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Careless, with the tendency to jump to conclusions. Am I wrong?
What?
Wait, what? Huh? How did he know that?
You say that I, look at me, was blackmailing Ron Delight? In which case, I would naturally know all about his relation to Mask the Mask.
Yes.
Ron Delight started receiving plans from his second crime onwards, correct? Which means I learned of his identity when he committed his first crime.
That is a good point. You certainly couldn't have blackmailed him otherwise.
In that case, let's see some hot, bitter evidence. During the first crime, how did Look at Me know the Ron Delight was Mask the Mask?
You merely adopted the darkness. I was born in it.
I think I see it.
See what?
When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Gets into lots of mischief, trying to be the center of attention. Oh my god, I killed him.
Count disconnected.
Rip.
Damn, we fucking roasted him to oblivion.
Damn.
He's trying to play it off.
This newspaper clipping. It has a picture of you around the light in his guard uniform. It seems that Mask the Mask didn't just disappear into thin air. He just took off his outfit and hid it inside a bucket.
That sounds so far too stupid to be true.
Correct. With tricks like that, he couldn't fool a baby, let alone an ace detective. And that's when you figured it out, Mr. Amy. That's when you learned that under his mask, he was really around the light. Mumble, mumble, mumble.
I can't believe it. Who's the slimy blackmailer?
Stop. It's Tyler's time.
You? How dare you speak to me like that? I've never blackmailed anyone in my life.
You're a phony.
I'm a famous crime ace detective, and I'm also masked. Why can't you understand that?
I'm afraid you are neither a proud thief, nor an ace detective. You're a blackmailer and a murderer. That is your true identity.
Why?
Get him.
Why you? How dare you even consider it?
Goon. So goon.
That terrible ass laugh. It would seem we finally arrived at the real answer. That man is insane.
Well, that was quite the performance by Mr. Atney.
Bailiff, please prepare ourselves for Mr. Atme.
Why?
Un segundo.
Ding dong!
I said we have one more testimony left.
Oh,
Machine gun.
The hammer that strikes too fast has no time to aim.
but I'm the judge. What do you mean? I've already prepared delivering my rule.
Allow me to say one thing.
One thing only.
I will be the one to judge.
What?
Okay. Sure. You don't get much more in your face than that, I suppose.
It appears that your claws weren't sharp enough, Mr. Trout.
What do you...
It's true that you've proven a lot of things. Things like Look at Me was a filthy blackmail.
Who you calling filthy?
And that he wasn't at Lordly Taylor the night of the murder.
Who you calling not at Lordly Taylor?
That's right. And that's why he's the one who killed Mr. Bull.
But
What?
there's still one thing you have yet to prove.
And that is...
Just because he wasn't at the warehouse doesn't mean that he was at the murder scene.
Huh?
Therefore, if you can't prove that this pitiful excuse for a man was at KB security, then I don't see how a verdict can be delivered.
Wait,
Order in the court. Well, Mr. Wright.
this is it. The final round.
Oh my fucking
I've got
god.
to prove that Abby was at Mr. Bullet's office on that night.
Can you really prove that?
That's long enough, Mr. Trite. I want to hear your answer.
That night, Luke Abby was at KB Security and the defense.
Huh?
I can't prove it.
Such a shame.
But if we hear more Detective Abby's testimony,
Okay, hold on. Unfortunately, that's as far as you go, Mr. Trite.
what do you mean?
I won't allow you for any more testimony. That is what I mean.
What?
Have you forgotten? Look at me is here after we interrupted his own trial. And you have failed to prove that he committed the murder. I think it's time for this witness to return to his own trial and face his guilty verdict as Mask the Mask.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, now, Saloya, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as Mask the Mask.
Oh
My
fucking
verdict will verify this for you. Just as Ron Delights will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness.
Bro, you've been sweating out your jacket the whole time. You just got lucky. Calm
Listen, it's
down.
hot in here. I don't need you ragging on my sweat.
Anyway, that's enough deliberation over this witness.
I can't believe this. At this rate, Ron's gonna...
Be dead meat.
You cut out like half.
I know, I'm sorry. I gotta get a new mic anyways. We still have tomorrow! We can look for more evidence and...
By then, it'll be too late.
Uh-huh? Why?
Double check. One of the basic rules of any court of law.
Huh,
Shut
about
up.
the crime.
Double jeopardy?
Should a defendant be tried and found innocent in courts, that defendant cannot be tried again for the same crime. This is a fundamental rule of all courts. And it applies to the witness as much as it applies to anyone else. He is free to do the same thing as he did before.
Mr. Atme will be found guilty in a matter of minutes. Guilty as Mask the Mask, which means...
He will be innocent as far as the murder of Kane Bullard is concerned.
Hey! No way!
Yes, Way. The fact that you were unable to prove Mr. Atme's guilt is of that crime means that he will never again be tried as Kane Bullard's murderer.
Wait,
How do you not know
Just a
this?
system.
So, damn it.
Oh no.
well, I've done everything I
Get
could,
away with this.
even if Ron's claimed to be innocent. The real killer, Luke Abby, will go free.
You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today.
Fuck, it's cold.
And as long as there is no more testimony, I'm afraid I have to declare that there will be no further questioning of this witness. Are there any objections left? Will Phoenix be able to prove that Look At Me was actually the real murderer? Find out next time on Ace Attorney, Phoenix Wright.
Fun begins.
Yes.
Adams, line.
Then I hereby... Oh shit. Then I hereby end the cross-examination of Look At Me. Forgot I'm not the announcer. Oh, it's what's-her-face.
Mia?
Yeah, I think that's me.
Nope. Mia? She's dead though.
She took over. She took
She's
over.
been dead since fucking case 2!
This
Anyways.
is Phoenix Wright, Adams.
Anyways,
I'm
Mel.
doing it wrong.
I think oh,
Oh my god.
Joanna,
Oh
when
no.
you were a child, this is what was on your report card every year. Has poor hearing and often makes mistakes as a result.
Get him.
Huh?
Get
How
him.
did you know?
Phoenix,
She did.
raise your head up high, King.
She said Phoenix.
Have you forgotten what I used to tell you? A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets.
Okay, All
Keep
Might.
your head up, King.
That voice. It's impossible.
That cigarette aroma.
Long time no see.
Why do I smell nicotine?
Mia, this is the true power of the crane channeling technique.
God damn it.
I know that it's really Maya who's standing before me,
Oh my fucking god.
but right now, she's my mentor, Mia Fey.
It's me, Austin!
Well, that's all over heel
Now,
turns.
let's do this.
But there's nothing more we can do, Mia.
Take your names and kick your ass. Kick your ass? No, kick your names and kick your ass.
Bruh.
Yes, but without any more testimony, I can't cross-examine.
Not yet. The testimony's not over yet.
What do you mean?
Your Honor, just now you said something very interesting. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today.
Yes, that's true, but...
Unfortunately, Your Honor,
Oh,
you're
shit.
forgetting something. Earlier, after the last cross-examination, this witness, this raggedy man, made a number of remarks.
Who you calling raggedy?
This is a flashback from 2 minutes ago. Bork.
Yes, but these comments appear to have no importance whatsoever.
Very well. Then we shall prove their importance via cross-examination. At any rate, as long as the witness has made these remarks, we, the defense, assert our right to question them. Is that alright with you, Mr. Prosecutor?
Is something the matter, Mr. Godo?
He's horny.
Excuse me, nothing.
Oh, Sir Lawyer. Looks like you're one step too late. If you think such falsehoods will do anything to me, look at...
Let's hear it.
Oh my god.
Nani?
It's true that the witness made some remarks. So then, let's hear this last bit of cross-examination.
Mr. Goto.
So sweet.
Where are you?
Damn.
Silencio.
So sweet.
Very well then. Mr. Look At Me. I'm going to allow the defense to cross-examine your earlier remarks one more time.
The defense would like to hear why you declare the defendant to be the true murderer.
So please, give us one last bit of testimony.
Phoenix,
Oh my god.
this is it. This is an absolute last chance.
Yes, Chief.
Ah.
How do we not have any Daft Punk songs on
Yo,
this
be
fucking-
prepared for a long ass fucking testimony, Tyler.
Oh, fuck me.
Olivia.
Indeed, it is
Oh,
true that I was not at Lordly Taylor. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I had known about the dates beforehand, so I had this photograph ready. My brilliant deduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Ron Delight. And thanks to the key card and wallet, I was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded but once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why, you ask? The victim would have left prints if he had sounded it, which means that the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. And the blackmail letter? The victim likely just mistook the color of the tree. So, therefore, all evidence points to that poor, weak, childish, lame-ass piece of shit child.
You just revert
Dude,
back
100.
outside of carriage. You dumb.
Hey, who's voice acting here?
All of
This
us.
testimony, it's too solid.
The witness's earlier remarks do not appear to have been hastily prepared either. All of his points have been explained, and none of them seem to contradict anything.
But of course.
But, how did you know about the emergency buzzer?
Police investigation documents went directly through me. And I always look over all the documents. It's elementary, Sir Lawyer.
I'm not a lawyer. I'm a judge.
Are you going to make even more trouble for us now, Sir Lawyer?
I'm a judge, and I will not allow any of your usual shenanigans, Mr. Wright. I can't.
Not
do
even
it
my
all.
supernatural abilities?
Not even that. We cannot postpone Luke Atmey's trial any longer. This is your last chance.
Oh no.
1 sec. 1 chance.
1
It
second.
seems that the party is about to begin.
No.
Oh, well, Lena.
There isn't any evidence that contradicts with that testimony.
So it would seem.
Mia's just so phoning it in right now.
What do you mean, so it would seem?
Listen, Phoenix. Pointing out contradiction doesn't always mean you have to present evidence, does it? At any rate, this is our last chance. If you can't point out a case-breaking contradiction, you lose. That's all there is to it.
Do I hear rain?
Cup number 17, the last cup. It seems like the time has come to put an end to this trial.
I have to find a fatal contradiction in this testimony. And I need to point it out without presenting evidence. Which means all I can do is find the contradicting remark and press it.
Remember, you only get one chance.
One shot. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Please begin your final cross-examination.
Mia is Doctor Strange looking at Tony, pointing up one finger.
Oh my god, shut up.
Where the fuck is it?
Huh?
Well, I'm like watching you scroll and I'm like, where the fuck is it?
Mr. Atney, about this last remark.
The very last one?
You still don't get it, do you, Wright? This isn't the time to be pressing the witness on every little statement.
I'm afraid you're the one who still doesn't get it, Mr. Godot.
Shut up, bitch!
What?
Mr. Atney, it seems you have finally admitted that you were in the CEO's office on the night of the murder.
How can you say that?
Wait a minute.
Let's review your testimony, shall we, Mr. Adam? The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? Mr. Light was wearing his mask outfit. Is that correct?
Indeed. That's what I said. My deductions are absolutely foolproof.
Lies.
More like your deductions prove that you're a fool.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright, but I don't think insulting your defendant is the job of a defense attorney.
Este idiota. For some reason. Starting to get really thirsty.
Oh, really? How many drinks did you have just now?
When exactly did we learn the fact that Rondelette was dressed as Master Mask when he went to the scene of the crime?
That was,
It was just a few hours ago. Back when my sixth cub was looking at me with a cold stare.
Oh, he
Really?
remembers every cup. He remembers every cup.
Oh,
Flashback. But I want to hear Zavi do Ron's voice. He's so good.
To do it again once he finishes.
That's right. The defendant has yet to tell anyone else this fact before this morning. Therefore, the only people who should know this are those who have been watching this trial.
Sound like a demon over there.
Do you understand now, Detective Abby?
Ready.
There is no way that you should have known about that.
He felt like he fell.
You were in the next courtroom, being tried as Master Mask.
The banana peel on
So
the
then enlighten us. Just how did you know about this piece of information?
Oh, the five-sided banana?
Shut up, Hans.
Come on, this detective must have known about it. He probably had a plenty of chances to find out beforehand.
And it's those chances that I want to discuss next. That night, Mr. Light was wearing his Master Mask outfit. There is one, and only one way, for Detective Abby to have found that out.
He stole it. Only one?
You say?
Please recall, if you will, Mr. Delight's testimony in another flashback. For a second, my client witnessed the real killer.
But Mr. Delight never saw his attacker. So there's no way to tell whether or not the real killer was look at me.
Oh, the way you roll your R's. Yep. Yep.
Don't.
Yep.
I'll do it again.
Anyways, it's with that statement that I'll turn this case on its head.
Just what are you implying?
Mr. Delight saw the real killer, correct? Now, if you turn that statement around, it stands to reason that the real killer had also seen Ron the Light.
Hey, was it...
Just look at me.
You
That's
timed that way too
perfect.
perfectly.
Mwah. Detective Atme, you saw Master Mask at the murder scene that night. You saw him when you killed King Bullard and assaulted Ron the Light. That was the only way you could have known what Ron was wearing.
Yes, it
What the fuck?
temblor.
This is
Oh, he's going Super Saiyan!
Take a good look, everyone! Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one myself! Here I am, the tragic clown!
Very tragic.
Pagliacci.
That's the same line you gave out yesterday.
But I think there's a little more meaning behind it this time.
That he's actually borderline psychopath?
I like you chose that.
What an awful complicated incident. Kane Bullet was blackmailing Luke at me, who was in turn blackmailing Ron Delight. And upon killing his blackmailer, Luke at me tried to frame Ron Delight. He then claimed to be guilty as Mask the Mask in order to escape his true crime?
And to that end, he came up with this plan.
Sounds like a movie.
To use the double jeopardy rule when making his alibi.
Sounds just like the movie. And at any rate, it would seem we finally found the truth.
Excuse me?
I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man 3 times. Besmirching him with the title of murderer.
Don't ignore me! How many times do I have to...
Oh,
Sorry.
I didn't realize you were there.
Why wouldn't he be?
About the verdict.
I know, you never committed any murder.
That's right! I'm so glad you understand that. But I really am Master Mask!
Huh?
So, thanks to that trial yesterday, I'm innocent now, right? What was it you said? Double jeopardy?
Now that you mention it...
I've been careless.
Hey, he scot-free.
Man, scot-free!
What do you think, Mia?
Mel.
Is she here?
Is she smoking?
Alright.
Would she be smoking?
As
Alright.
Alright, Venom.
I mean, if she's not gonna do it.
Yeah, I guess.
Can never be tried twice for a crime in which he was once found innocent.
Until Mel shuts me up.
Then Master Mask really is innocent.
It would seem so. For now.
Huh.
For now.
Now then, this court finds the defendant not guilty.
That's crazy.
Yo, Ronda likes to mess the shit out of everybody.
Without even trying, he just did.
Oh, by the way,
Oh boy, this is really lucky. A spot of a Bonnie Chauncey.
God damn it.
This isn't so good after all. You see the thing. Oh, there are those other crimes for which I wasn't tried.
Hey, bailiff, how much do I owe you?
You owe me a lot.
Wait a second. $70?
Huh? Can I get a
yes,
translator?
hit me with those bonks.
What did he say?
Give me a sec.
$70.
Bum, 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 bum.
What's that? Andy, what'd you say?
He said $70.
In this economy?
Ew.
That's like the lowest price.
Thanks, Mia.
Man, bro.
It's been a long time, hasn't it?
It's pretty cheap for 17 coffees.
He had more than 17. This man had like over 25. I've been counting. I lost
No,
track.
he had 17. It's canon.
Damn it.
Yeah, it's because Maya doesn't call on me much these days.
Oh?
I wouldn't either. He did.
Just joking, Phoenix.
Oh.
Don't take everything so seriously. Besides, Pearl's always available.
Ew.
You mean about becoming the master of the Crane Challenge?
Becoming master means saying goodbye to our mother.
But she'd be dying too?
Misty.
She's been there.
No, she ain't.
Won't you, Phoenix?
Well?
Of course.
Well then, see you around.
fade away.
Dead.
Yeah.
Mr. Wright. Well, that is to say, I don't know what to say.
Congratulations, Mr. Delight.
How about pay up?
Thank you so much. No, wait. Nothing really matters anymore, though, now that all this is...
I'm just
I'll be right back.
happy.
She's already conscious.
Maya,
You've been cleared of all murder charges and go off as mask to mask to boot.
But in exchange, I lost everything.
Oh, your girl go?
Huh? What do you mean?
Stealing security information from KB Security, becoming mask to mask. I did it all for one reason. For her.
you mean your wife, Desiree?
Oh, she hates criminals more than anything.
Come to think of it, she was once held hostage by some robbers, wasn't she?
She always said how she hated sneaky criminals.
Oh, poor guy.
I knew that. I knew
He
that,
could have
but...
just said that he wasn't the mask the entire time, but he just kept saying it.
Oh,
Hey, man,
once I got fired from KB Security and lost all the money I had, she wouldn't have any reason to stay with me.
She didn't need to begin with.
I thought she would leave me for sure.
Should've.
So that's why you became Mask to Mask.
Yes, but it's all over now. Broken bone can never be put back together.
But yes. Oh, shit.
It's not true, right, Nick?
Right. Even a child can put it all together.
Really? Can we go back to the way things were?
You'll be fine, and Nick can prove it.
Oh.
I can. You gotta start asking me about this stuff first. Mr. Delight, even if a bone is broken, there is always a way to put it back together.
Show the badge. Show the badge.
No, it's the urn.
The sacred urn. Desi was the one who found this.
Desiree, your wife.
Oh, they
She's
fixed it.
always believed in you, Ron. That's why you'll be fine. You don't have anything to worry about.
Ah, there you are.
Miss Delight.
You did it, Ronnie. You're innocent. I'm so happy.
Thank you, Monomori. I appreciate that, but, I suppose you don't want anything more to do with me, do you?
Ronnie, why didn't you talk to me about what was going on?
Did he just say me and More?
I had no idea you'd quit KB Security. I never imagined that you were mask to mask either.
So, what are you going to do now that you know? You're not going to really leave him, are you?
Come on, it's obvious, isn't it?
Yes, leave him.
How could I ever let a wonderful man like him get away?
Because you're a gold digger.
After all, my bike's really fast. So fast, there's no way he could ever get away.
Oh, she wants the money.
Wait, didn't you say that you hated criminals?
Oh? I only hate people who act all cowardly and sneaky.
What the fuck?
That's
Like
exactly
that
what he did.
detective.
I see.
My Ronnie went and declared his crimes before he committed them, like a man.
What? What?
I just love a man who's so chivalrous.
He's a gentleman thief.
Chivalrous?
She realized he makes more money stealing than he does at his job.
I knew I was right about you.
Aww.
Every day I spend with you is filled with thrills and excitement.
Deft.
Jesse.
It's so cute, though.
It's cute, but fuck, she's dense.
I know she is, but it's just so cute.
Oh no, she ain't been.
She's probably
She
just
knows.
pretending.
She's purposely doing it. She wants the money.
I know she does.
No, maybe she just likes him for him.
She said he makes up for his stuff in other ways, you know.
Yep.
Right. It counts what's inside.
Nicky boy.
His pants.
Yes.
Yo, Ron's packing that schmeat.
I'm really glad I asked you to defend my Ronnie.
That
Oh my
thick red
God.
carpet too.
Thank you so much. I'll never forget what you've done for us.
Oh. Well, take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
You too, Nicky boy.
Do we get paid still?
Right, I need
Probably.
to get paid.
Probably not. Who knows?
Huh?
Oh shit, Anthony.
Senor Nick, Mystic Maya, congratulations.
Oh, hi, Pearl.
Oh.
Señor Nick, ¿cómo está con otra muchacha? Pinche puto. No
Wait,
te
no.
voy a... No, nunca. Toma.
What?
This is the first thing that she
Every time
Because Phoenix turned red when seeing Desiree.
I mean, let's be honest. He's looking respectfully, okay?
Yeah, respectfully.
Well, I always figured this was how I would die.
Being beat by a 8-year-old.
Yo, fucking Pearl, put the brakes off.
She's the equivalent of Lamilton.
Ron said a broken bowl can never be put back together. But I know that's not true. Just look at this.
So cute.
Here's a perfect example of one that was put back together, even better than before.
That's
But
not a
it's
bowl.
wrong.
Yeah, it is.
It's an urn. But
can
it's
use it as a
still,
bowl.
but it's still in the wrong form though.
Adams,
It's
go eat some soup out of that bowl. Shut up.
I want to keep going.
Yeah,
That's-
down to keep going.
That's not up to me.
No.
So,
Have we
any-
decided
so-
to
so-
voice?
basically, everybody's been casted. Does anybody not want to continue?
Oh no!
Actually, I don't have any applications, but
I'm good. Let's keep going. Let's keep
Hey,
going.
hey, Zalvi, I told you we'd get to fucking
Everybody,
try
let's
about
keep
fucking
going.
wrestling.
I was a doubter, but
I know.
Let's do it.
But let's take a 5.
Yeah, we're gonna take a 5. We're taking a 5. Don't worry
Makes
about
sense.
it.
Makes sense.